Do I click this?
Yes. And where are we sitting?
That's a great call, Mike.
Oh, I can't see that.
I'll say it.
More stuff for Amanda to sign.
I was hoping there was more.
Getting warmed up, why not, right?
Smaller chairs. More room for these. Chairs, they spend money. Tried to tell them I like the other one. Zero weight.
You got one of the other ones.
Which I'm the happiest guy in the world.
Don't be in there snoozing,
Did they just disperse throughout the rest of the building? As soon as people do, everybody just came and ran.
And the guys that were moving the stuff were like,
Okay,
happy
please,
as couldn't
have
be.
at it, and there's a truckload if you want them.
That really nice GU1 plate in the parking lot, you know, the old Ontario County for GU16J. And I'm thinking, boy, I was in Fulton County last week, and she's lucky she's not in Fulton County, because they're FU. I'd like to be FU1.
Yeah, I would be.
I've done that before. Oh, that's,
She heads up the DMV, I think she could handle it.
Right.
Here's Barry.
Just gonna wait out. Barry?
Yes.
Do you wanna come in for the, well, never mind that, it's down. Well, you'll be here for High Point 300.
Yeah, just leave them out there. We'll get you eventually. No problem. How you doing?
Yes, I think we're good. No, I thought, I'm taking Wednesday off, we have Thursday off. I can work from home Friday.
You could. I may not be here. I may be here. I'm not sure what I'm doing. I got a phone call today from one of the supervisors, and kind of beating around the bush about how his system isn't balanced, right? But he never asked. So I said, well, do you want me to take a look at it?
Thank you.
And he goes, oh, you wouldn't mind. Instead of call Mary and say, Mary, this is what I'm into. Is there any reasons why I should do this? He goes, no, I don't think so, but I'll let you know tomorrow morning.
Are these new chairs?
And that's Friday.
oh, really?
Yep.
I think they are.
They are.
They are, yes, they are.
Yeah.
They are.
Wow.
We got new ones along the side too.
I might have to.
Looking professional.
I don't know, these guys are all saying they're too hard to at. I think they're pretty
Oh, I
good.
don't know, a day on the farm, I bet I could curl up in one of these just fine.
You don't think so? You don't like those?
Yep.
Nice?
I prefer that. 1,000 people that are coming.
You got a lot of people coming?
Yeah.
Family members? I have one family member.
Yeah.
She accepted elsewhere because she knows that we don't eat meat. I go, you know we're gonna break this. Or my wife's gonna break it, now we're gonna break it. So, I think we're having filet and king crab. If I could talk her out
Oh,
of
the
it.
traditional Thanksgiving.
Yeah, definitely. I gotta tell her, she wants to, she's gotta buy everything, cause I can't get there. They're all polymers. I want the biggest ones you got. Price is not an issue.
Wow, you're a swanky guy.
Should have never introduced her. She didn't like it. Like, but when they took the polymers, it was big. They were the cloth.
Yeah, but those are hard to crack open. It almost hurt your hand.
They're, I tell you, once you do, you get this piece of meat out of it. I like butter with my kids. Butter on anything works.
You want them on the top?
Gotta wait for me a little bit.
You do share,
Tom, I have a letter draft to send out.
and then
Developers
the
can
agenda.
planning board.
Get share again.
Start collecting.
Then it should, yes, another over there.
We'll send it out. I was hoping, I was gonna, nothing for you to just really vote on, just to give you a heads up or a chance to give your, but we're just gonna send it out.
I think, there's a nice one to give a tally of that, you know, that utility thing is, still be an ongoing thing for you.
Sure is.
I'm like, well, if you want to,
This one here, this is-
you definitely have left to go through.
No. I don't mind thirty.
I only have 8 people coming, we have a 21-pound total.
Where are you cooking it? Right in the oven?
Yeah,
Wow. That bird's up
and,
there.
and one of the 8 people is in the refrigerator.
So does she break tradition for certain bigger traditions? She doesn't, does she?
She's not a vegan or anything, she's
Just imagine, but just, kind of like, we were there at one time.
It is.
Didn't last very long. We went further south, now we're plant-based.
Hi, Mark.
It's a pain. It's a pain. Trust me.
Everybody does their own thing.
It is a pain. So,
That's why I see everything.
there's one thing I've noticed since we've been on it, at least I've been on it, all my numbers got better. So.
I'm sure.
Yeah, and.
Some of mine
You're good.
filed down here.
But
So, yes, but no.
All right, well, hopefully Andy will get here soon. We can go ahead and call the Ontario County Industrial Development Agency to order. And we'll start right out. We have an agenda addition. We have paperwork here on time for the meeting, but not on time to be in the original packet, so I'd entertain a motion to add the High Point 300 request to this meeting. Motion from Dave, seconded by Amanda. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, carried. And we can go right into old business. Nixon Peabody?
Yes.
We need anybody to kick that off, or do we pretty much know what we're doing?
Oh, okay.
All right.
We had a public hearing for the Nixon Peabody project. There were comments in favor of the project from Supervisor Jack Marin from the town of Victor and Kathy Rayburn from the town of Victor. There were no comments against the project. And the project is, sales tax abatement on fit out and equipment for High Point 300. Nixon Peabody would like to move to that building. Let's see. They have $4.5 million worth of sales tax abatement, or $4.5 million worth of stuff that would be abated from tax.
Equals 337,500.
They are bringing in, they're gonna retain 200 jobs and create at least 3 more. And as far as economic impact, they are fine under general municipal law. And as far as our UTEP, they are not a deviation from our UTEP. For the strategic plan, they're good to go as a supplier and customer to existing industries in the county. As far as compliance, they were also good on all of that. Like, would this project have proceeded without IDA assistance? They said no, that was offered as an inducement to move to Ontario County. And is IDA assistance required to be successful? They said yes. And the application states that the project would be reduced greatly if they did not get the sales tax abatements. And then, Michael, you want to go over the cost benefits?
Yeah, just real quick, we're there. So, page one, there's really only underneath the economic impacts, it's just the earnings of the new employees that are, predicted to be here. And we'll turn over to the second page, the top being the cost, there's a sales tax exemption of, as you mentioned before, $337,500. That's the only cost for the project. And then the local benefits, just the salaries and, that go on down through. There's some income tax revenue that'll come through. There's, ongoing jobs that support the project. And if you look at the cost benefit ratio, it's pretty good. It's 22. Overall, it's 11-to-1. When you take the state in locally, it's 22-to-1. It's a very good project for us. And state's about a 1-to-1. Any questions on the numbers?
Any questions or entertain a motion to authorize and use?
A motion.
Second?
Have a motion, Dave second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, carried. Barry? Yeah, I think you did.
You can hang out with us, thank you.
Okay,
All right. Lake Toms.
yes, 7321 LLC, also known as Light Times. We had a public hearing for them. And again, Kathy Rayburn and Supervisor Jack Meeran expressed delight with them being in the county. On the top of the project checklist is the criteria for evaluating. And they will be bringing 34 jobs to the county, and over the next couple of years, creating 11 more. As far as economic impact, they are a manufacturer. We call them a tactical satellite mostly for the Marines and the Army. And as far as following our UTEP, they follow the UTEP perfectly. That's how it works. They want to grow. They were awarded a contract suddenly and had to go to Parrington Square, which is a strip mall in Parrington, and they have 10 acres in Ontario County, so they decided to build here because they're expecting to grow quite a bit more. Year over year, they've been expanding, and they went from 4 employees to 37 in just a couple of years. As far as compliance, everything was in compliance. This is not a deviation. It's one of our regular projects, which we haven't seen in a while, just for manufacturing. And Michael, if you want to talk about the cost benefit?
Yeah, just, so it's just, we're looking at about 11, full-time jobs to complete the building, and that causes indirect jobs, for a total of 15. So we're looking pretty good. The local spend total is about $2.7 million. If we go down to the actual permanent jobs, there's going to be 6, indirect would be 5, for a total of 11. Giving us a total over the course of the project of about $5.6 million. That would just be labor and sales. Let's see, total benefits, turn over. Okay, so the property tax exemption is $627,000 over the course of the 10 years. The local sales tax exemption is $75,000, that's the estimated foregone sales tax on the product. And finally, the mortgage recording tax is based on a $2.4 million tax recording, and that's about $15,000 right there. The local benefits, direct and indirect, total about $6.7 million. That's from the total payroll and the ongoing payroll, the 6 people, and the short-term five folks. And what else do we got? We've got the property tax revenues. It's a 20% phase-in. It comes out pretty well. Do I have that schedule here? But the tax phase-in is pretty good. It's it's $600-something thousand is what that one is. And to the public, the various ongoing income tax revenue, et cetera, comes out to a total of $7.3 million. The benefit to cost ratio it comes out to be a 10 to 1, and we're looking, locally about $6 million, cost at $617. Very good project at 10 to 1. In the state gets a better one this time around with $317,000 to $50,000. This was a pretty good old school one. It felt good to do. And any questions on that one?
Just the property tax, I'm not following, I haven't done a lot of these.
So let's see if I got a schedule here. So how we look at it is we say, okay, if we didn't do the project, right, it would generate X, right? So at this point, I think it was about 13,000, right? And then if you do the project, our project is basically the improvements on that. We're always going to pay the original 13,000.
Yep.
The improvements on it, we're going to exempt the first 5. This is our standard pilot. We're going to exempt the first 5 years. Then we're going to phase in the taxes at 20%, 40%, et cetera, on down to the bottom. So by the time you get to the bottom, or the 10th year, that's why it's kind of funny, it's a 10-year pilot, it's really a 9-year. But when you get down to the bottom, we're taxed at 100%, and that's how that works. So whatever changes are made, base, the base project is increased during the year. So we tend to keep, I think we do 2% increase on an annual basis, and that's the numbers you're looking at here. You're more than welcome to sit you down and have you
I'd
go
love
through
to
it.
spend some time looking at that.
All right.
Not tonight, though.
Well, thank God for that. Okay, any other questions? I'd be looking for a motion to authorize and reduce.
Make motion.
Motion from Amanda,
Second.
seconded by Deb. Any further questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none? Carried. High Point 300. Sue and Barry.
High Point 300 is where Nixon Peabody is going to be going, and there for Nixon Peabody, they are putting a new entrance on the building, and is it a lobby area, Fred?
Yes, so
And so they're adding an addition, and they are, while the building is under a pilot already, this kind of new construction, and they are taking out a mortgage to do this construction, and it can be covered under the existing pilot, correct, for the building?
Yep.
They originally got a $210,000 worth of mortgage recording tax. They used up $184,073 of that. That leaves them with $25,927 worth of mortgage recording tax they can take. But their mortgage amount is more than that, and there is a gap of $32,189. And so we have a resolution to allow High Point 300 to have that additional mortgage recording tax. Cover the whole mortgage on the building.
And we didn't need to hold an additional public hearing for the granting of these benefits because they are less than $100,000. But in addition to granting the additional $32,000 in change in mortgage recording tax exemption, this resolution also authorizes the IDA to execute the mortgage grant exemption.
be under the same length? We're just,
Well, the mortgage reporting tax would,
It's a one-time.
would be a one-time
Okay.
thing, but, the, improvements to the building under the pilot would be for the same schedule, yes.
okay.
In the original pilot, did that go to the developer?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
And when was that in place?
2020.
2020, and there was an amendment in 2022.
Any other questions? If not, for, a motion for Mark,
Second.
seconded by Deb. Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, carried. On to minutes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Fred.
Want a motion to accept them?
Sure.
I'd love to make it.
Sounds great.
I'll second it.
All right. I want to give everybody a chance to peruse them first. Good. Got a motion and a second. Any questions? Additions or omissions? All those in favor of their acceptance?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, carried. Mike, financial report.
Good.
Yeah, so I go through it. So really, the key thing, I kind of squished everything up this time through, so it's not 14 pages long. Ended up, October 31st, with $1.6 million. We still have one, IDA project that's still out there, waiting to be closed, that we have on the books. If we get to the year end, we will reverse this and not recognize the revenue until we actually close that next year. Joint venture is just a fixed number, from, till the end of the year, when, we adjust those. Same thing with the investments, that's a fixed number until we actually sell something, in case that changes. Due from the airport, $1.3 million, that's how many dollars this fund has given the airport fund over probably the past, I want to say about 7 years, in there. Okay. Escrow, for projects that are underway. So basically, we're coming down to total assets of $3,040,894. And liabilities, same thing, strictly net assets of $2.4 million, plus this year's net income, giving us total equity. And so it's all in equity, is where those are. Income statement, we're right along with budget. If you take a look at it, the expenses, revenue, we're doing very well. Like I said, we might have one reversed out of there, but revenue, we're $251,000 above what our projection was. The expenses were $5,000 less overall. These expenses are fairly predictable, as I say, and it's pretty much year over year. We're really close on these expenses for the year, leaving us right now ordinary income of $486,000. Given that if nothing changes, that'll shrink down a little bit, a couple months worth of expenses. For the IDA airport, the negative 347, don't panic. We added some expenses late before we already done the bank transfer, so we're sitting on a couple checks, and they'll be funded once we do the transfer this time. So that was arranged for. It's not just a mishap or anything like that. Coming down, just got a few smaller receivables for the FAA. Coming down, I shrunk all the fixed assets down there. As you can see, the total fixed assets right now are about $14 million net depreciation over many years. There's total assets of $14,304,000. Flipping over, accounts payable. You'll notice that the accounts payables are pretty light. When you take a look at the bills for payment, you'll see why there's not much on there. Jessica has taken a week off and left us high and dry. She paid what we had to, and then plus we'll start getting some in too this time. Okay, where are we? There's the $1.3 million that due to the agency. Long-term liabilities are the inflows of the leases, which is a GAAP thing. We'll change that at year end. And finally, down to equity, we have a total equity in the airport right now, about $12.9 million. Expense-wise, we're pretty much right on expenses here also. Revenue, we're 35,038. I think we have a little bit, we do have some FBO revenue that we're gonna recognize next month, to increase that over the 30 that we have a budget on. The total income, 3538, so we're doing fairly well there. Expenses also, I'm just gonna write down to the bottom, we got 319,000 versus 317. So, again, pretty close to budget. And we, going down here, capital expenditure wise, we are definitely under our capital expenditures, because of the projects that we have on hold. And that's it.
All right, if there's no questions, I'll entertain a motion to accept Mike's report.
Second.
Motion by Dave, seconded by Mark. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, carried. We all received Bob's report. Don't have any questions for Bob, you can just handle that. Motion.
Make motion.
We have a motion from Amanda. Seconded by Dave. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, carried. Now Bob gets to speak.
Well, I've got, two requests. One is the state has offered again to the New York State, they've renamed it the Air New York, Aviation Capital Grant Program. Basically, they have $25 million and, it's spread throughout the public use airports for typical uses that are, we typically apply for FAA safety projects. Last January, we applied for to extend the sewer. We did not receive that grant. We did get some feedback from the aviation director, on how to proceed forward with that. However, I'm asking the board if we want to do that again. The application would be due January 22nd. I asked McFarland to do a little summary of what the budget estimate would be for that project. And it was last year was 1.52 million. This year's about 1.8, meaning the local share would be 183,000. And this again, just to remind anybody who wasn't here, Mark, was being building basically essentially a pump station to collect from the developable areas of the airport next to Mercy Flight and send it to the manhole that's on the south end of the property, or on the right-of-way south end.
All right, any other questions on the project? Promotion to task order number 9.
This one.
No,
No, what do we?
He skipped over task order.
Oh.
We'll go back to it.
All right,
go back to it.
and the other one, sewer, okay. Okay, and then the next one, we're taking a motion.
Yeah.
Okay. Nothing is flexible.
Oh, no, you're not.
Not at all, not today, I'm not flexible at all. Dave made the motion, Amanda seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those, any opposed? Hearing none, carried. All right, Bob, now we'll do the sustainability.
Yeah, task order 9.
Task order 9, that's
Right,
sustainability.
so we want us to proceed with the application then for my understanding that, for the sewer extension project. Okay, got it.
Do you want to cover the motion to apply for extension?
Yes,
for terminal?
then the terminal project, one of these state grants also is due to expire. We're on our one extension now, and we need to send a no-cost time extension letter. Typically, it's a year. For the hangar project, we applied for, and we're granted 2 years. So I don't suspect we'll be any farther down the road this time next year with that project, and we'll be looking to extend it again. Concern would be that the state start looking at, how many extensions you have relative to this and other projects.
And what is this project again? I think it was before my.
This is the construction of a terminal building, roughly, I think the grant was for $1.65 million. we received bids, we bid it twice. Second bids were around 2 million or over 2 million.
So is it our intention to pursue this project, or?
It's our intention to keep it on the books as long as we can, in case we, at some point in time, have the ability to pursue.
And when was it awarded?
This was awarded in 2018.
This is Brent Long on the call, if I may interject for a second here too.
Sure, go ahead.
We've been applying for no cost time extensions in the past for Canandaigua Airport and for other airports, and typically that process is you apply for the extension and it goes fairly smooth. As of recent, I'd say in the last couple months, we've been getting a different tone from the state on these no cost time extensions. On an airport I was just recently working on, applying for a no-cost time extension, they've actually requested a notarized letter from the sponsor indicating they'd like to do this and acknowledging that with these no-cost time extensions, it may lower their score on future applications moving forward. I just want to bring that to light, that is a shift in movement that we're starting to see on the engineering side with the tone on these no cost time extensions. So just want to make everyone aware that they're starting to crack down, I think, a little bit harder on these.
Would there be another project in the works or coming up that could potentially hurt us by asking for this time extension then?
The sewer project is out of the same program.
Under the same, by asking for
Yes.
the extension, it could in fact make that a little more challenging.
Correct.
Possibly, yeah.
Don't we have to have sewer before we have a terminal?
No, we designed a terminal with a septic system to bring the sewer in later.
So you're gonna pump?
No,
Let me phrase the question a little different. Do we need sewer before we need a terminal? Not linking the two together, but are we about to have
No.
sewer right now?
The sewer, the terminal project was
Really?
standalone with a standalone septic system with plans to be able to tie it into the sanitary sewer if that project came along.
Right now, we're pumping, right?
No,
We don't have anything but the CAC,
Much for pumping.
and that's where the
Pump.
pumping and septic is.
This would just add on to that pumping capacity.
Be a separate standalone.
No,
No,
It's
the
separate.
system's working properly on pumps. Standalone septic.
if I'm hearing correctly, the extension of the terminal included a working septic in that cost.
yes.
That's why it wouldn't be pumped and wouldn't be connected to the sewer.
So, yeah, all the engineering work's been done, the ground's been perked, so it's,
What could happen that would prompt us to move that project along if we did get the extension?
somebody give you a lot of money.
Either way, we're gonna be applying for the DOT grant before we would go out to bid on the terminal. Eventually, we're gonna have to deal with the terminal building. And if we wanna ask for the extension this time around and see what happens with the sewer grant, maybe we win, maybe we don't. There's a lot of reasons not to win a grant. That's just one of them. But eventually, we're gonna have to either build the terminal or give the money back. So that will be a decision for this board. It doesn't have to be made tonight.
At this
But it
point, the
will have to
recommendation
be
is to
made.
kick the can down the road.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of reasons to add sewer, and we're gonna apply for it regardless. Matter of fact, we have to because you just told us to. But
I was more concerned about if there was this, getting the extension was gonna really impact the ability to get the sewer.
it could. We didn't get a sewer last time, and they told us there was reasons that we didn't. Could have been not our turn, could have been money allocated someplace else, and we just didn't score high enough. There's a lot of reasons why we didn't get it. If the state's saying that they'll look upon it negatively, they'll tell us that when they grade this one too. But we're not gonna build the terminal before we fill that grant application out, so
asking for a no-cost time extension is probably the prudent thing to do right now. And then have a further discussion over the course of the next year as to what our plan is with the terminal building. And that would also affect anything we do with the board of supervisors for partnership or any private partnership out there too. Trying to go out for bid to build terminal that have come in twice over budget, while we're looking for partners, in my opinion, doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense. You know, let's find a partner and figure out what they would like us to do with the terminal building. The only way to do that is to ask for the extension. And know that it could bring us,
And how long's the extension?
typically, we request 1 year. Like I said, we'd be, probably filing for an extension again next year at this time. We were successful at extending the hangar construction project for 2 years.
Would it be smarter to ask for a 2-year extension now instead of ask again and again and again?
That's what I would suggest.
I don't see us making a decision on terminal in a year.
Yeah, if I may, I would suggest a 2-year extension only because nothing has started yet, and it certainly will take more than a year for, if it were to proceed, for anything to close out. So, 2-year extensions aren't out of the question with the DOT.
And I would say if that's not out of the question, that's what we should ask for.
That motion?
It is.
All right. A motion from Amanda,
I'll second.
seconded by Dave. Any other questions? All those in favor? Any opposed? Hearing none, carried.
Before we move on from the airport, just to update everybody, it's not on the agenda, but so we changed the pumping service for CAC septic. Had a conversation with Chris 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Does that sound all right? He would like us to look into having somebody come out and take a look at the septic tank and make sure that that is what we should be doing, or look to see if there's a bigger fix that's necessary, or if we can pump less. So, I
didn't mind paying for it.
need, what's that?
I didn't mind paying for someone to come out and do the research.
Yeah, but it's ours, so it should be
I'm
ours.
just saying, I didn't expect anything from anybody. I called the engineer guy and he was gonna come out, I was willing to pay for it.
So we'll get, we'll get a couple quotes and bring them to you next month to accept one to go out and take a look at the septic.
What are we trying to determine with this inspection?
Whether or not greater work has to be done to it, if the pumping, the frequency of the pumping is necessary, and if it's not, what frequency do we need to deal with the septic system, other than just pumping it regular, or monthly.
We talked about this already.
We moved to get a new.
Whoa, for the pumper, I remember that.
Yep. CAC would like us to take a further look at the septic system as a whole, rather than just getting a cheaper pumping service.
Okay.
We'll have 3 quotes for you next time.
All right, anything else on the airport? If not, invoices for payment.
No, we need to do
We
task
do
order
nothing.
9. Sorry.
Well, when I asked for it, let's do it this time.
You're right.
Do task order 9 this time. All right, here we go.
Brett, do you want to talk about that, or Bob?
Well, this is the, I think the board discussed it last meeting, is and it's just the proposal from McFarland Johnson to do the sustainability study for the airport. Pretty much in line with what we requested, a couple $1,000 under the estimate. They believe it's gonna take about 8 weeks, so it should be prepared, presentation prepared. And I forget what the other deliverable is, a written report, discussed at our January meeting.
Make a motion?
Have a motion. Seconded by Mark. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we did task order number 9. Invoices for payment.
Like Michael
Like
said,
it
there's
is,
not a lot there.
very simple.
The only two that stand out to me are from Gemco, signage. As part of the expenses, we anticipated probably well under for, moving the, FBO out of the trailer and into the security building, 1850, and, Lumber Curve, that's our light bulb supplier, those are light bulbs for the signs on the runways.
And the IDC, the last one there for $332, it's the IDA agency. So what we do with QuickBooks is we now have to purchase it on an annual basis. So we just total up all the transactions from each of the 4 companies that are using it, and your percentage is what we split the cost of. I think it's around $1,600. So it's usually July, somewhere in there. The airports is one of the bigger users. And then the next one's just our master agreement, monthly master agreement, 2 for Low Key Brill, for projects that are out there. And the $30,000 just funds the airport payments.
No questions, ready to take a motion on the bills?
I'll move.
Second.
Motion from Dave, seconded by Deb. All those in favor of payment?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, carried. Got a department update?
Sure.
You don't have to think about it real hard.
No, it's not really, yeah, it's an update from the department. We're busy here now. Just to let everybody know, the OCEDC, applied for and was awarded a $2 million grant for housing through the state. We just found that out Thursday afternoon. So that was exciting news. It was a $40 million total pot of money, and we were able to get $2 million of it for the account. Mark, you've already heard this, sorry. I'm still basking in the glow. That's a great win. So the EDC will be handling that. We may need a little help with seeker, but we're still trying to figure out how to do that. Yeah, so we'll let you know. Other than that, you know, end of year, as you can see, we've got everybody coming to finish their stuff out right now. Same with the EDC. Busy. Oh, and our fight with the utilities has only just begun. The planning department and our department have drafted a letter to go, you've heard this, to go out to municipalities, planning, zoning, code enforcement, developers, and any engineers that we know of, to start asking for information on utility demand, to provide it to the utilities, and more importantly, put the county in the chain of communication so we can find out what the utilities are telling the developers. Right now, they're telling them that it's incredibly expensive to get gas and or electric to their development, and many of them are saying, well, then we just won't do it. So you'll get updates on that next year, probably monthly. Working closely with Senator Helming's office on this for right now, and several developers in the area. The utilities said that how could they have ever predicted that Farmington would grow? My answer was snarky.
That is.
That's update.
So move. Motion from Dave. Second by Amanda, all those in favor?
Thank you, Amanda.
So we had,
Outstanding.
Mike's got to catch up on a couple.
Even grown.
He missed a couple.
Twisted it.
Yeah.
I know.
Pile going back to, Mike here.
Yeah. You gotta pop, you
Got
gotta
the cart
not for presentation, but for the place.
That's fine.
Nice.
All right, so basically.
wheels, huh? We could have cheer
We
races.
did nothing.
Yep.
No, you were going right where I was.
Yep.
Let's go.
So, twisting and pulling it